Perfect. Thank you guys for having us. We look forward to speaking with you guys today. I'm Sean McDermott. I am the Chief of Innovation here at the Fighter Country Spark Cell, which is Innovation Lab, and been in the military for 24 years. I am security forces by trade, but really got the opportunity to work here in the Spark Cell, and it's been probably one of the best jobs that I've had so far.
And I'm Tech Sergeant Zach Bizarre. I'm Sean's counterpart up here. I've been in the Air Force for 12 years. Primarily, I come from the vehicle maintenance background. I've been up in the Spark Cell for about 18 months now.
So, yeah, well, nice to meet you all. We'll get into this Luke Days Air Show. So if you guys have not gone to an air show before, we haven't had one in 5 years, I think since 2019 or 2018. And so we're having one here on the 23rd and 24th of March, obviously open to the public. Our lineup, as you can see, is pretty significant. The Thunderbirds is an amazing show. And there'll be a ton of vendors, and it's a great time.
Yeah, it's a really awesome opportunity. I think we've had over 100,000 people in the past, and since 5 years ago, right, the growing community has gotten a lot bigger. All those housing developments you've seen go up, so we're anticipating quite a bit more people here in the future. So we're really looking forward to kind of opening up the community, which I think really segues into kind of one of our fun facets that we get to do at the Spark Cell, which is we're heavily involved in community relations. So if you want to go to the next slide.
Yeah, I had one more question before we get started. Do you want people to ask questions as we go, or do you want to put them in the chat, or do you want to wait till the end?
Sure, yes. Interrupt us, ask us questions, let's talk. Does anybody have any questions so far?
That was my question.
Okay. Big deal, 1 for 1. You want to talk about these?
Yeah. So D Fellows is a unique program that we got selected for. We're one of only 2 bases in the entire Air Force, right, that got selected for this program, and by Headquarters Air Force. And basically, what it does is it gives the opportunity for some mid-career level airmen to take a pause in their career and go and work with a local business, whether that's, and there's really no requirement for the business itself, and we partnered with ASU, we partnered with some solar companies, hotel businesses, Goodyear PD just recently. And so we actually have a session that starts on Monday. We have 2 airmen right now that are partnered with businesses, and they will work with those businesses on a project kind of style throughout a 6-week period. And so it's really free labor for that company, and it gives that airman an opportunity to really step outside the military and see the civilian sector on how they operate, and see what they can bring back to the military. So at that end of that 6-week period, they do a full capstone project, and they present it to not only the business, but our wing leadership as well. And then, so they bring all that value back into the military, and whatever they learn.
Yeah, and absolutely. So one of the things that we really strive to achieve is our vision of multi-capable airmen here, not just at Luke, but in the entire Air Force. There's a reason that when companies hire folks and they see that they're a veteran, that it kind of boosts them up a little bit, because they know that they are multi-capable. They can pretty much perform in any situation or position that you put them in, and they'll excel at it. Because I might be a vehicle mechanic today, but tomorrow I could be at the Fighter Wing Spark Cell doing 3D print and design, and Sean here is a defender, right, defending the base, patrolling in a patrol car. But you worked in IG, and you've been on multiple deployments where you were not doing your actual job. So we don't really focus too much on trying to pair the airman with the right company. We want to give them an opportunity that's completely stepping outside of their comfort zone and, looking at that company in a way of what can I do? What can I help this company with from things I've learned in my military experience? And what can this company help me bring back to the military? Because a lot of companies, right, they're a good one, they're for profit. And the Air Force, the military, we aren't really in that mindset. We have a mission that we have to do and we have to get after it. So we can really help each other and it just fosters community relations and growth. Does anybody have any questions on the D-Fellows intern program? You got anything you want to add before we move on?
Nope. I think that's everything. I think, is there one more slide on D-Fellows? Or is that just the one slide? Yep. So, yeah, we already hit on it, right? We have a session coming up. This is a revolving thing every 6 weeks, and really not a big requirement, but minimum 5 years experience for our candidates, and we have a vast array of different career fields that we're looking at. So to include high schools, possibly colleges, education venues as well. All right.
So there's our slide.
That's our team.
Not pictured is Dakota Belcher. He's currently on a mission and he's landing back here in Arizona tonight. So.
All right. So what we do, we're actually in the Spark Cell right now. It's an innovation lab, right? We're a team consisting of innovators, problem solvers, dedicated to drive innovation, transformation across the fighter wing. We really focus on driving a culture of innovation and collaboration, and we do that through a ton of different projects. Currently, we have about 71 different projects that we're trying to manage and get off the ground and spread throughout the Air Force. Obviously, our mission is find, fix, and empower. Right? We find problem sets, break down those problem sets, and then find solutions for it. So that's where the fix piece comes in. And then we really try to empower the younger airmen coming up to take on those projects and help with those solutions. And how we do that is through the grassroots efforts to create unavoidable value, right? So if we create that unavoidable value, that Air Force, big Air Force, will have no reason to say no to what we're doing. So,
yeah, so basically, like, just kind of put it in, different terms. We do so many different jobs in the Air Force, whether that's our flight line maintainers working on aircraft out in the heat and all of the stuff that comes along with that, or our medical professionals organizing and distributing medicine all over the base and local pharmacies and everything. So we operate like a small city here on the base. And what we come up with is airmen all the time are saying there's a better way to do this job. Whether that's a program, something powered with AI, a tool that they need to invent or create, or a process that needs to change. And in order for us to be able to fix those processes, we have to get after it this way. And that's what Sean and I are here for. We take those airmen in and we put their idea on the board and we empower them the best that we can to make sure that they know how important their idea is, because they're trying to help the Air Force, the DoD, our local community, and everything else in between.
I think I saw a question pop up. Is there something in the chat? Sure.
There's a question in the chat about who do they get in touch with for the other program.
For D-Fellows?
Okay, so I think at the end of this slideshow, there is a contact slide with our phone numbers and our emails. And so you can reach us anytime on those. But yeah, that'll be at the end.
So I think now we're going to get into some of our projects.
Yep. Innovation Labs, I'll talk about this and then I'll hand it over to Zach for our project. So we have a maker space here on the installation. It is about 2,000 square foot. we have every tool available that you can think of, and saws and craftsman tools, yeah, welders, all kinds of stuff. And that's really just to create items, prototypes mainly, right, to see with our innovations. And then our ideation space, you can kind of see some of it. It's fully wrapped with whiteboards, and we have 3D printers. We have three Oculus Pro headsets for the VR AR capability, a Vibe smart board, and just overall we use this space for education purposes, because we teach an innovation course as well as a 3D print course. And so we'd like to invite airmen up here at any time that is convenient for them to be able to just ideate.
Yeah, we operate 24/7 up here. A really unique thing about that makerspace is it's actually inside of an aircraft hangar. So let's say there's an innovation or an idea that involves a fighter jet, and one of our F-16s or F-35s. We can actually have an aircraft pulled in there, and we can work out of the makerspace directly on that aircraft to be able to, cut that thing out. And usually prototyping shops are way far disconnected from the actual thing that you're working on, especially something as large as a fighter jet. We can pull vehicles in there, pieces of equipment, and we can actually do build outs of larger scale projects inside of that hangar as well. It's really fascinating, and it's one of a kind for the Air Force actually. Does anybody have any questions on our spaces or what we're doing inside the makerspace or the ideation space? And also, you guys are all more than welcome. We can get you on base and show you around up here and show you what we do as more of a hand-on approach to it if anybody's interested.
Yeah, we just invited the city of Wickenburg up. I think they're coming in October. And so, yeah, we're more than happy to make a tour, make a day, whether a leadership retreat, whatever you guys want to do, come hang out with us.
You guys work with other maker spaces?
We do. So we work with a lot of other innovation spaces, and then we have a detachment out here called Det 9, and they're like a maker space on steroids. They have CNC machines, they have like water jets and press brakes and flight simulators, and they have everything that you need to really expand the rapid prototyping and actually make a physical product. But we've also worked with places like Azure at ASU. We've gone down to ASU and we've partnered with them and worked in their labs for robotics and drones. They have a big drone lab down there. We got to tour the Mars Mission Center that's down there. Really cool, fascinating experience. But yeah, we try and work with a lot of other maker spaces. So any other maker space that want to get involved with us, please let us know, and we'll see how we can collaborate.
Okay.
Does that answer your question?
Yes, I'm on the community college governing board, and so I toured all the Maricopa community colleges, and a lot of them have maker spaces. And as you're talking, I'm thinking to myself, is there a makerspace group that gets together just to brainstorm, what each of them is doing or anything like that? And
well, it sounds like there could be, and it sounds like there probably is going to be after this. So I really look forward to that because we are all in on that.
Okay, well,
we've done some intern programs with the community colleges and the state universities as well, where they've actually sent interns out here for 6 to 8 weeks at a time to work on specific military-related projects as part of a capstone for their graduation or even in the middle of their education program.
Great, thanks for doing that. It's really important for our students to get that kind of experience. So thank you for doing that.
Bring them on out, or we'll go to them.
Yeah.
So this is a really, really cool innovation, and it doesn't really look like a lot on that screen, but what you see there is something that we completely made in-house here at Luke Air Force Base. The F-35 is our newest fighter jet. It's the one you guys see flying all over the place. It's pretty loud. It's pretty cool, super high tech, and the process to work on it comes with a lot of collaboration from Lockheed Martin. So in order to remove the engine out of the back of the aircraft, it's a pretty easy process, right? They take the bolts out and they put it on this trailer and they slide it back off, and then they're able to work on the engine as a full component where they don't have to get into any tight spaces or anything. They can just work on the engine in a bay, and then they can put the engine back in. But that's when the problem comes up. The tolerances are so tight for installing the engine that it was taking a team of around 5 to 6 hours, even up to 8 hours for newer teams to actually line this engine up and install it. And all it was lining it up, basically to slide it into these gaps to be able to even bolt it. And this process was really a constraint for me. And an airman actually came up with the idea. He said, you know, I've got, my garage doesn't close if there's something blocking the laser. So why don't we just kind of use that technology to use a laser to guide that basically and put that into the aircraft. And we were able to have a full bird kernel in 06. Usually they're maintenance commanders type of thing like that, but they're not the ones actually working on the aircraft. And he was able to use this technology that we developed here at Luke Air Force Base to install that engine in about 18 minutes, as opposed to the 5 to 8 hours it was taking a teams to do it before. That's a tremendous amount of time saved for our maintainers. It puts more aircraft in the air, it trains more pilots, and that was done right here at Luke Air Force Base. And we've had the airmen patent the technology, and they're shipping it out to different bases that are working in the same kind of environment. So it's a really exciting thing to be a part of, and that's just one of many projects that we have here at Luke. I think I saw a question pop up on the board. I'm not sure.
It's me, just wanting to know who's in the background making all the noise.
Is it gone now?
Yes, it's gone now. So
okay, we're good.
Guys, when there's background. So
Okay.
yeah.
So this is a video. If you wanted to hit play, if you could play this. This is another great project for us.
So this one's near and dear to my heart, as I come from vehicle management. It's where I've been for 11 years of my career, and I've changed a lot of tires in my time there, and our airmen are changing a lot of tires too, especially here in Arizona with the heat and the roads. We go through a lot of tires. So this is a company called RoboTire that we actually found at one of our innovation rodeos that we went to, where we were able to sit down and meet with other innovators and talk to people from all over the country about what they were doing to innovate at their units. And we found this company, and we applied for something called a TAC-5 with them, and got awarded it. It's a $1.8 million program by the government to fund this project for Luke Air Force Base. And at the end of this program, all the research and development that they're doing, we actually get to keep this machine here at the base for our vehicle maintainers to use for now until the end of time. Like, we'll have this thing forever. What this machine does is it actually dismounts, lifts the vehicle up, dismounts, mounts, balances, rotates the tires, puts the new tires on, torques them down, sends the computer specs, scans underneath the vehicle to see if there's any problems that can be detected with the computer program, and gets the vehicle out of the shop in about 18 minutes. That does the work of about 3 airmen in 18 minutes. So now our airmen can actually go and work on more complicated tasks other than changing a tire, and we can do more thorough procedures where we have vehicles come in and they're getting their tires rotated more often, and we're checking for tread wear patterns and alignment issues and all of that stuff. And I'm really happy to say that this is the first of its kind program in the entire DoD. A lot of civilian shops are moving to this, but the military hadn't gotten on board with it yet. And that's what we're here for. We're here to innovate with the local community, whether that's here in Arizona or in Detroit, Michigan, where RoboTire is from, to figure out ways for, to make our airmen more lethal, to make our mission more efficient, and to get after things. So this is a really exciting project. Like I said, near and dear to my heart, being a vehicle maintainer. It's something that we're really proud of. And the RoboTire machine at Luke, in all of its green glory, should be installed here at the end of this month or early in September.
Now, this
I
is
think
another
the
great
video was hard to hear you guys speaking during the beginning part of the video, so I'm not
gotcha.
sure that
I
we
didn't
could
know.
hear all that. Sorry.
All good. No problem at all. We just wanted to see. I mean, you guys get the gist of what it looks like. It's two robot arms, right? And they, you know, like you said, mount, balance, rotate all the tires. But I think this is just another great example of the partnerships that we develop over time through innovation.
Absolutely. And then feel free, please, to send this slideshow out to everybody. So if they want, they can watch the video afterwards and don't have me interrupting and talking over it.
All right.
This is a really exciting project too. So our airmen are out on the flight line working on the jets, whether it be in the summer or the winter time. It's geographically separated from the actual maintenance unit that they're working in. So let's say they're working on a jet and they need to have a specialized tool, a torque wrench, a spanner wrench, or a part that they need to install that they didn't want to, that wasn't available at the time they started working on, or they couldn't bring it out. A problem arose where they needed to get a different tool.
Or water, or food.
Or water, or food, or anything.
Yeah.
The airman has to, because of the procedures of what we do and how dangerous it could be for a tool to get lost in the flight line. It could ruin a jet. It could hurt somebody really bad. So basically what they do is they have to inventory their entire toolbox, load it up, lock it, pack it in, and they have to walk all the way back to the maintenance unit and where they'll stop, hang out with people, get water, take a break, whatever. But that process was about 30 to 40 minutes in between actually getting back out to the jet and getting to work on it. And we determined that we're almost spending $300,000 a year in downtime from that, and the shifts are longer for the airmen that are working on this stuff. So an airman came up with the idea is like down at ASU, they have these robots that are delivering food to students while they're working, or they're delivering supplies to, the custodians or anything. They're just driving all over campus. Is there any way that we could have a robot deliver our tools, parts, our toolboxes, water out to the flight line so that we don't have to have that downtime and we can just stay out there and work and get done quicker and finish the jobs faster, which equates to more aircraft in the air, more pilots trained, more mission success. So we partnered with this company we found called Essential Aero, and we told them, they were trying to maybe sell us on an idea for FOD recovery and detection. And we said, is there any way to convert this robot into doing parts delivery? And they said, absolutely. So we entered a SIPR phase 2 process and got awarded another $1.2 million for this project. And they're about 8 months into this project, and it wraps up, at the end of the year, January timeframe. And it's looking really promising. Like, we're going to have a really good marketable product for the Air Force. When we have it in person, we had it driving around and it was delivering flowers and stuff like that. So just to showcase what its capabilities are, this thing is really exciting. And hopefully, we can eventually get a whole fleet of these things driving around the base, doing that stuff so our airmen can focus on the mission instead of the tedious tasks like going and getting water, snacks, and tools for their toolbox. You have anything you want to add, Sean, about Essential Aero?
You hit it on the nose. You guys got any questions on the Essential Aero robot? All right.
One thing I want to talk about too is, you talked. Somebody asked a question about working with other maker spaces. We work with ASU a lot under an educational partnership agreement, and one thing that we're trying to build right now is working with our high schools. We got to tour Cactus High School, if anybody knows where that is, and we got to see their whole facility. They have a robotics area. They have a maker space. They've got labs. They've got flight simulators. They're training their young students all the way up till some of them were getting their pilot's license in their senior or junior year of high school. So we really want to expand our horizons, and we want to partner with a lot of local high schools, whether that's get the students in here to work on some really cool projects that they can excel and grow, and maybe do a capstone project for their school, potentially a program that might help them, apply to certain colleges. But also we want to get out there and we want to help them get after their projects, their ideas, because there's one thing Sean and I have learned, and he's a little older than I am, but we're getting older, and the younger generation are full of ideas, and we have to facilitate those ideas because that's the future, and that's everything that we stand for in innovation. So let us work with you in your education systems in the city. Anything we can do to help, we'll make sure we give it 100% of the time. And that's our board right there with the numbers on there. You can call us, text us, email us, shout loudly. We'll find you, and we'll make sure that we can get together.
Michelle, you're going to send that to all of us, right?
Yes, I will send that as a follow-up to everybody that registered. I'll go ahead and send out their PowerPoint, has all of their information in there, ways to connect and kind of. So other than schools, are there some cities or some other ways that people are connecting with this makerspace where some businesses could kind of take advantage of working with you guys to solve problems?
Yeah, so we're open to really creating any type of collaboration or partnership. Like I said, we have Wickenburg coming out. We're more than happy to partner with any city, any business, and whether that's going to them or having them come here, or even, like you said, creating a whole group, right, of different maker spaces or innovation labs within the valley, and just creating that conversation and collaboration. We're more than willing to do that.
We teach an innovation foundation course, and it's mainly geared for our military partners. But we've actually been talking about how we could tailor that to local community leaders, schools, that kind of thing. Maybe shorten it up a little bit and do a different version or variation of our innovation foundation course. But we also teach a 3D print course as well. And I'm more than happy to sit down and teach people how to 3D print, how to operate them, how to do some modeling, basic modeling. We've got a 3D print guy here that's like blows all of us out of the water, and he loves to teach that course as well. So we might even be able to do that mobily and travel, bring one of our 3D printers in and sit down and just show you guys how important like that capability is to have, because we've been able to create so many things just from 3D printing here at Lake Air Force Base.
Great. So I guess we'll open it up for questions then at this point in time.
I had a question. I work for New Leaf. I'm the community engagement coordinator, and we're a nonprofit. And we work with human services. We have domestic violence shelters. We have like 7 umbrellas, and under that's 32 programs. I just had, and thank you for your service, by the way. I just had an airman just reach out to me. Her name was Ariel, and she wanted to know how she could maybe help or get some groups together within her facility and come out with our new shelter that was just opening. So I just want to, thank that your airmen. This is the second time now I've had someone reach out to me. They helped us last year, and they wanted to help us this year at our new shelter. So I just think that's kind of cool that, they are out there looking to see how they can serve the community. And I would like to reach out and do a tour with a group of from a New Leaf.
Awesome. What was the shelter called?
The West Valley Housing Assistance Center. It just opened on 128th and Grand, and I'm with the New Leaf, the nonprofit.
New Leaf, yeah. So I'm from Logistics Readiness Squadron normally, and one thing we did pre-COVID was we actually adopted a shelter facility, and we would go down there once a month and help them renovate, help them do maintenance on their vehicles that the shelter had. We would deliver food, all that kind of stuff. So we can definitely connect you with some of the local organizations on base that are geared towards getting after getting people involved with that part of the community, because that's something that's really important to our airmen as well. We all come from all over the world here, in all branches of the military. So come from different walks of life, and I know I have a special soft spot in my heart for shelters as well. So anything we can do to help you guys with that, please let us know, and we'll get the word out.
Thank you. I'll reach out. Appreciate that.
How else can we help?
Hi, I'm Maria Brunner. I spoke to one of you. I don't remember who. I forgot your contact information. I didn't have that. So I'm glad Michelle's going to send us this because I would like for you. We spoke about OSJ's kids, the kids that are in foster care, and the
Yep,
event
that was
that we
me.
have. That was you. Okay, good.
Yeah,
So now
spoke
I
about
have
it.
okay, so now I have your contact. Awesome, thank you. And the other thing, I would like to also invite you to speak to some of our military and Veterans Affairs committees. We have several that we work with, but it would be a great presentation to show our folks. So I'll be contacting you guys. Thank you. And thank you so much for your service and all you do.
100%. Thank you so much for your support. We, with the foster program as well. In the past, what I've done with an organization called Sunshine Residential Homes, we actually invited 17, 18-year-old kids that were in the foster in that foster home out, and we got to take them on a tour around the base. We showed them an aircraft maintenance section, vehicle maintenance. We took them over to CE. They learned that there's all different kinds of jobs in the Air Force. And out of that group of 8 that we brought, 4 of them actually joined the Air Force. They lined up and did that, and they got to start. And one of them actually went to Germany. So that was a pretty cool thing. So let's do that. Let's do more of that. Let's get
Thank
those.
you. Yes. Yes,
yeah,
I'll
no,
make sure I connect you with Gary. Thank you. He's also part of Leadership West actually now. So awesome.
Oh.
Thank you.
Will you guys be open on the retiree day that they have at Luke?
Oh yeah, we'll definitely be there for retiree day.
you know what that is?
I know it's coming up.
His
Yeah,
retiree is coming up.
I'll be one of those soon. So yes, we're more than happy to host anybody for the retiree day. I know that's a big event here on Luke.
Well, my husband retired from Luke 25 years ago, and I'm thinking to myself, if he could see this, he would be totally shocked. And so and Michelle kind of put the idea, or Maria put the idea in my head, because we have a lot of veterans that know nothing about this. You know, they're from the old Air Force where, you know, he was an aircraft maintenance, a logistics officer. He was the guy that pulled the engine out, but couldn't put it back in because he didn't work out.
He didn't have the laser.
Yeah. So anyway, but I was thinking for retiree days to allow some of those retirees to come in and see the facility and hear what you guys are doing. I think it's just amazing. Wow, has the Air Force ever changed?
Yeah, so do you know where the community commons is?
Uh-huh.
Right to the pool?
Yes.
That we are upstairs in that building, and we welcome anybody and everybody to come by our office and come see us.
Okay.
But yeah, we can set up something specifically as well.
It doesn't have to be a retiree day either. If you want them to come over and hang out with us tomorrow, get them out of the house, send them on up here. You know?
We'll make them 3D prints.
Another one of our partner organizations out at Seymour Johnson Air Force Base in North Carolina, I think, or South Carolina, one of the Carolinas. They have a makerspace where retirees actually come in and they help the airmen work on projects like something as simple as like reupholstering a chair or refinishing a table. And they're more working on things that are that have been forgotten in time, you know, like repairing a garbage disposal.
Life skills stuff.
Yeah. Which, you know, the generation before my generation, they're a little more skilled at that kind of thing. We don't want to do that much anymore, but it saves a lot of money to learn how to do those trades. So I'm thinking there's a potential there for retirees to come out, hang out in the Spark Cell. When you leave the military, you leave a part of you that a lot of folks try and they spend the next 20, 30 years trying to refine that, but they don't need to. They can just still be a part of us and come in and work with us all the time. So have them come up and maybe they volunteer and get a part of some of these projects and get to work with some cool stuff.
Very cool. Thank you for the invitation. But this is totally so impressive. I'm just blown away that the Air Force is being this innovative. I'm just amazed.
We love it. We're very passionate about it for sure.
And we're saving electricity.
Really.
Do we have any other questions? All right. Well, if we don't have any other questions, we'll go ahead and close this out. I will send this recording as well as the PowerPoint deck that was provided. And we just want to thank you, Sean and Zach, for taking your time to share the incredible things that Luke Air Force Base is doing. We always love to find ways to partner with you guys and be a part of the community. And we love that you guys are so embedded in our community. We're so grateful you guys are here.
We really appreciate the opportunity to speak. We've enjoyed it, and we look forward to future partnerships for sure.
Yeah, this is my home, right? I was born here. I get to work here right now, and eventually we're going to retire here. So, you know, I'm a lifer. So West Valley, all that stuff, you know, go Arizona.
Of that.
Except for the football team. I'm a Seahawks.
Oh, come on, come on. Well, thank you everybody for attending this Lunch and Learn and the great questions. We appreciate you guys just as much as our presenters. So thank you, and we look forward to seeing you guys. We will have our mixer in September. We hope to see some of you guys there at our class retreat, and then we'll have some other things. So keep watching our socials and our emails. We got a lot of exciting things coming up. Thank you, everybody, and have a good rest of your day.
Thank you. Bye-bye.
Thank you.